is Zlata, and today I would like to tell you about a 3-day trip to the capital of the Czech Republic, Prague. I would like to share my experience about this weekend since I make plan for each trip by myself, choosing the most interesting go-to places and the most convenient routes in a new city. It seems to me that this could be useful information for many travelers who are planning to visit Prague and will help you save the time that is also very important during short trips. So, most often when the capital of the Czech Republic is mentioned, we remember about the local beer, the varieties of which are known throughout the world. In addition, the city is famous for architectural monuments, beautiful bridges and other attractions, as well as the beautiful old town with narrow streets that reminded me of Riga, the city where I live. So, in this video I will tell you the interesting go-to places that we managed to visit over weekend, the dishes that we tried as well as where we tried them. And I will share a map what was compiled to do everything in time. So we had a flight from Riga to Prague on Friday evening. This flight takes about 2 hours. From Václavské airport Prague, the most convenient way to get to the city was a taxi, which cost about 20 euros. The Amigo city center hotel, their estate, is located approximately 1 kilometer from the National Museum of Prague. There, a street leading to the center of the old town begins. We decided to devote the first day to get to know the city and its streets, and on the second day we decided to arrange to visit more entertaining places. So, on the first day our road was made from the old town towards Zlata Ulitschka, and this is ancient street of Prague located in the Prague Castle, is one of the symbols of the city. The appearance of the street is characterized by drop to floors houses built into the arches of the former fortress wall in which you can enter. The entrance fee is about 250 Czech crowns, that is about 10 euros. And the address you can find below. Zlata Ulitschka appeared at the end of the 16th century, and until the Second World War people lived here. Archaeologists found out that before the street was even narrower. The houses stood in 2 rows and the distance between them was about 1 meter. Nowadays, in the small houses, museums of everyday life and crafts are located. Their ancient interiors and furnishings have been recreated. Several houses have been turned into the shops for traditional Czech souvenirs. And an interesting place for those who like to see how people lived before. Another interesting fact is that the writer Franz Kafka worked in house number 22 in the 20th century. Very close to the Zlata Ulitschka Prague Castle is located, the largest fortress in the Czech Republic, which can already be seen from the famous Czech Bridge. And unfortunately we haven't managed to visit it, but it will be definitely interesting to visit it for people who is passionate about history. Entrance to the complex is free of charge, so you don't need to pay for a walk through castle, but a ticket is required to visit certain places inside. On the way back we spent more time in the old town square. Inside the old town hall there is one of the symbols of the Prague, the famous astronomical clock. Every hour there is a musical accompaniment and a small scene is played with the participation of mechanical figures of apostles and prophets. The medieval tower clock is one of the oldest mechanisms in the world that accurately displays astronomical data. A lot of people always gather around the clock to take photos and it's really looks very unique. Also on the square is located the tin church, entrance to which is free, and many interesting shops with souvenirs, sweets and funny shops with dogs you can find on your way to the square. And in the evening of this day we have a snack at the Christmas fair. Which began its work by the end of November. The assortment is more inclined towards ready-made holiday delicacies and fresh products. But you will also find hot dishes there, for example potatoes, traditional sausages and cabbage, as well as tea, coffee and donuts. The second day was, as I said, more eventful. In the morning, an hour-long cruise along with Vltava on electric steamboat was planned. The cost of such cruise is about 18 euros per person. I highly recommend take it. First of all, there was no any noise on the electric boat, so the ride was very quiet. Secondly, you can hear our audio guide about Prague history in English. And for an hour you will have an opportunity to sit at a table and enjoy a beautiful view of Prague while drinking tea or coffee or even a glass of champagne. This is also a very good way to spend time if you have planned a trip for a cold season, as winter or autumn, since the boat is completely enclosed and is suitable for a trip even in rainy weather. After we left the pier, our walk continued along the Vltava promenade towards the symbol of Prague, Czech Bridge. From there you can see that a lot of people gather on the bridge to look at dirty statues, take photos, listen to music performed by local musicians and just take a walk. Czech Bridge was built in the 15th century. It connects the historical areas of Malá Strana and Staré Město. There is an information that the date of the start of the construction was calculated for a long time by local astrologers. There is also a belief that if you touch any sculpture on the Czech Bridge with your hand and make a wish, it will come true. So take your chance. And coming down from the bridge, you come out on a narrow street. There is a great opportunity to try treadling, one of the national dishes of Prague, a very tasty and unusual dessert, a puff pastry tube filled with any ice cream of your choice. One of the famous places is good food, coffee and bakery. The cost of such a sweet is about 7 or 9 euro, depending on the filling. And the tube is large enough, so if you don't have a sweet tooth, you can even take one treadling for 2 persons. Also on this street you can find many shops with a variety of sweets and souvenir shops as well. I will show you a short video from there. Next we had planned Vltava restaurant, famous for the fact that instead of waiters, food is delivered to visitors by small trains. While we were walking to the restaurant, we wanted to have a look at the statue of Franz Kafka's head, but unfortunately it was under construction. So, approaching the Vltava restaurant, already from the distance, you most probably will see a queue which is divided in 2 lines. People who had made a reservation in advance and people who are waiting in a live line. We didn't make a reservation and were afraid that we would stand for a very long time there. But surprisingly, the line moved quite quickly and after about 30 minutes we were inside. But I highly recommend to make a reservation in advance there, and the link is below. itself is very large. They quickly brought us a menu, mainly burgers, snacks and of course beer you can find there. You can try draft Czech beer in small glasses, a little of which. This is a great opportunity to try many sorts of beer and not get drunk. Trains delivered food quickly. We really liked the interesting presentation and unusual atmosphere. This place is definitely worth to visit while you are in Prague. And next on our plan was the Museum of Fantastic Illusions. Entrance cost €15 for adults. Before visiting, it is recommended to make sure that your camera or phone is fully charged. And this is true because the museum have more than 100 entertaining exhibits, among which you can take a photo alone or with someone and see many optical illusions. The flow of people is quite fast. No one stays for a long time at one exhibit, as there are recommendations everywhere, there to stand and there to take photos, so that the illusions will be seen on your photo for sure. In addition, while going through the rooms, you can take a look at various interesting scientific facts and solve riddles as well. Time that is spent there was about 1 hour. For some it may take longer, but this place will be interesting as for adults and as for children too. The final destination of this day was the Bravery Museum of Lego restaurant. The website says that the Bravery restaurant offers for guests about 1,100 seats in 8 halls and in a garden. This restaurant is not only the most famous Czech restaurant, but also was a pilgrimage site for all beer lovers, both Czech and foreign. It was first mentioned in the 15th century. And in this restaurant we decided to try Czech cuisine, namely Moravian sparrow pork pieces, sauerkraut, Czech bread dumplings, or another name for it knedlíky, and beef in cream, Czech bread dumplings known as a svíčková, and of course local beer. The halls are really very large. While waiting for our dishes, we enjoyed music from the local performers, and even the visitors sang along. The dishes were interesting by its taste and unusual, as I am a fan of trying local cuisine in new countries, so for variety I would advise you to visit one of such places. In general, looking for a place to eat, I would highlight that there are many similar places in the city center in Prague. But it is better to book places in advance, especially if, like us, you are going there on weekend. So this is how we spent our weekend in Prague. In the description of the video, I will leave all the places and addresses that we managed to visit. We really enjoyed our trip to the Czech Republic, and despite the fact that we spent only 2 full days there, they were full of good emotions and impressions. So I hope that this video will help someone plan their weekend in Prague and save the time to visit as many interesting places as possible. And thank you for your attention!